So this is going to be another VOD review, my second one of the night. Just sort of going a little bit about this map. This is responding to Violet's request of this Nepal map. I actually think this is the one from the other night, which we also played King's Row, which is the one I analyzed for Splat. On sort of the main tank position and stuff. I'm not a main tank player. I'm a bit more of an off-tank player, so I can probably provide a little more informed everything for you here. And at the end of the video for Splat, I also went over a VOD that Topaz and I played together. And I might do that here, probably. Common denominators. So, let's look at our comp. First things first, we are Sigma in a double shield comp. And we're running Boosted Ash, Soldier, and BAP. So this comp has really good mid-range pressure, like with one taps from the Ash, with the constant damage from Soldier, and with the fact that you guys are literally walking shield microwaves. The only thing I would be scared about is if the enemy positions in a place where your DPS can't find a lot of value. That's going to be a tough one for you guys because they may be stacking more into breaking your shields rather than like you guys have the mercy, so you're stacking into individual playing sort of. If you had a Zen, you'd probably be more building your comp into breaking shields, but Mercy doesn't break shields nearly as well as Zen. She's more focused on getting actual picks, which I think is good in foresight into their Pharah. I don't know anything about this team or if they ran Pharah a lot in the night, but I know that they usually run the Mercy for a double shield. That's a potential weakness of ours, and a potential strength as well. So we hear Pharah, see her headed over to the left side. Unless the DPS is coming with you, I'm not sure that this is very efficient. And it's not really on your part, it's on their part. That means that 5 of us are going to get bottlenecked right here. And these guys are going to play where they want to. 5 of us are going to get bottlenecked in here when we could be splitting up more evenly and putting pressure from the Pharah on them from multiple angles. Just food for thought. We're breaking shield. And we're breaking shield. A little out of range on the Sigma. So yeah, because the point hasn't unlocked yet, I think it is a little more advantageous if a DPS isn't with you to go right side with them. Now that I see Kenny is coming over, you guys can sort of take the point. They're trying to push the advantage really hard. And I think what your team needs to do is not back up as much here into this corner, but maybe spread a little bit over here if at all possible. I mean, they're gonna poke you guys down anyway, but prolongs it a bit. Let's see, they overextend and now they're feeding. So this is the fact that Pharah's focusing you at all. Oh, but we escaped. Unless your team is there, they're ready to push in. Like, ask your team if they're ready to push in, or look back or something, so that doesn't happen. That's rough. Let's see. Come on. To the Pharah. Lucky. It's probably going to be hard to retake into the Pharah because there's so much vertical cover for her. At the same time, you guys can either push them or rotate your way around and force the Pharah into bad positions. Oh, that's cute. Really bad, though. We invest Flux, and this is what our comp sword isn't good into. Unlucky. Sig is inside of us. We have to turn around to get him. All you have to do is put a shield in front of you and look back on the Sig. that target focus on your Sigma is going to be super important. Nice, taking your shield back, and we got to make a decision. Do we want to go right side, or do we want to go main? There's no need to shield when it's so low. It seems like we're having trouble being able to survive on the main force and the core of the team well enough. And I think for that reason it might be better to stay with them. Not that you're providing like abysmal value on the off angle, you're providing a lot of pressure here. They have to deal with you, like you see Sig and Orisa, they have to do something about you. And that's buying time for your team, but our team is having a very tough time into their Pharah. So I think it might be better if you were to go bait as if you were going to go somewhere over there with them and come back and ultimately just hang out for the Pharah and stuff like that, if at all possible. Besides that, we are running in boosted Ashe Soldier, now Kree, so now Echo, so I don't... It's just, that's something out of our control a little bit, I think. They're just overall really breaking shield and stuff like that. It's hard to... We can't find kills enough on the off angles or fast enough just because we're Sigma. So what we need to do as a team... Yeah, this tells me it. As a team, again, we're looking for individual picks. We're not really looking to break shield. For that reason, we've got to find some place to go and spread. If we're not spreading, the Pharah has multiple places to shoot us, or doesn't have multiple places to shoot us, and can take cover from it really easily. Take first point, for example, where they were set up here, team was set up here, and you were over here. Pharah was around main. She could LOS them, the main force, by just peeking over here, but she can't not LOS you into a DPS that comes with you. That's what wins into this team, spreading a little bit and finding those individual picks that our comp is looking for. Not breaking shields because they're better at breaking shields than us, comp-wise. This is an ambitious flux. I guess I like it, but it's just that our team can't follow up with it. That makes me a little suspicious. Hold that, let's see. Losing my voice a little bit. Oh. Coming home and doing 2 VOD reviews. Speaking straight for like an hour. It's tough, I need to get it.
Capture the objective.
Let's see, so we're on the Rhine Zarya now. This is the map I think you said you wanted to review, that we were getting charge or something really fast. Let's see. Or what you did from other fights. Well, let's see what you did different from other fights. So we're going top left. Very common spot. We expect to see them top left. We TP to point and they have a sim. Annoying. They're gonna be one of those teams, huh? So our first line of concern, so that's a good 40 charge. Let's just walk back a little bit. Looks like Splat wanted to be aggressive there, but we weren't all... So yeah, he saw the wall he wanted to go in, he got antied and died instantly. This is unfortunate. Now we're dead. Now, into this comp, a Pharah would be good. Metra sucks at dealing with Pharah, and so does Reaper. So does Zarya a lot of the time too. Ryan and Lucio, and yeah, really only Ana and Zarya are the ones that actually doing something to her. Listened. Went her just without a mercy. That's potentially okay. But if we're playing Pharah, a lot of the time you might as well play the mercy. Ana getting zoned. Meanwhile, we're down both bubbles. We had to use them really quick. But that's what we want to do. We want to bait them into a position where they're vulnerable to our Pharah. So, this fight only works. So these guys have a positional advantage. To a degree. Antied. bubbled, nice bubble to cleanse. You also use your bubble immediately, like almost at the same time. I would recommend letting his bubble go through and then jumping in front and using yours, so that you have a longer bubble uptime between the two of them. Because like if you're using both bubbles, you get like 1 second's worth of coverage on both of them. But if you use one after the other and be patient and wait for it, you get 2 seconds worth of bubble instead of 1. One thing to look forward to there. That's ugly. Cool. They're probably going to invest in some hit scans if they're smart, but they're probably going to want to blow all their ults first. Looks like blowing all their ults is the solution that they're... Very cute. They're waiting with wall. They're going to wait to wall up barrage. No. His patience. Let's see. Yeah, no real need to use bubbles yet. Just poking each other. And our team is better at poke. We just have to watch for a TP. Because that's what their team is looking for. They're gonna TP somewhere stupid and do something dumb. Because that's their comp. A little early in the bubble on the Rhine. They sort of drop their spaghetti. We can chase this. Okay. We're pressing tab between each fight. Now we know they have a soldier instead of the Symmetra. They'll get back slow. Or slower. It also means that he might be a problem from the off angles, so be sure to watch your supports. We have Grav. We have Barrage. I assume we're going to want to grab Barrage. I don't know if that's the best idea. Oh, you DC'd. That's right. I have a bet that this is going to be the one that got you 43 ult charge or something, so it's taking damage. One thing I always ask Topaz is, can you drop? And he knows that that's my command for, hey, drop shield, I'm going to use bubble to get charge on you. But I asked Splat too, and he understands. Yeah, like right there, Splat wanted to back off, so you couldn't find more energy off of your bubble. You guys can min-max that a lot more by doing just that simple call. Can you drop? And then he can continue swinging or going about his business. The enemy shoots him or something if they have to. And he can back out in time. Looking for Barrage. It's gonna get slept maybe. It's just Piranha. Nice on the flank. There you go. And we're spreading in a weird way here. I think what we want to do... So one thing I see you do a lot, and this isn't a bad thing, but it's more like a Reaper thing to do, and even Reapers don't do this that much, is that you don't give a lot of space between you and your enemy. Like when you hit the throttle here, see, like we're really close to our enemy already. You don't really need to be much closer, because it's harder to aim. Yes, like your beam is really, really long. You can see that you can hit the door frame over there all the way from this position, way past it. So what you want to do is generally stay towards the center of your team, and you don't have to move that much, because moving less in this situation, not going inside the point, instead just like going straight up this angle where this like weird log thingy is, will allow you to hit more people. It's just a better position for doing damage from more people than going inside it. Like, look how close you are to the Reaper here. It's hard to aim, and now we're like losing track of targets, and everybody's everywhere suddenly. That's just a result of how close we are. So you can stand to give yourself a little bit more space when you're beaming people down and stuff like that. That's helpful. Ryan's trying to make a run for it. He's really hustling. Nice bubble. Nano Zarya just died. Yeah. Easy, easy. So overall, no real complaints. Bubble management was pretty okay. sometimes there were questionable ones. Again, you have a tendency to stay a little bit too close to your opponents. I was talking with Splat, and I think just everybody needs like a seminar on the importance of corners. Will close angles on you. Like now I see Gray, now I don't. And if Gray was attacking me, now she's attached to me, now she's not. All I have to do is just walk this short little distance, one or two of these little cobblestones. Whereas to see me, she has to walk all the way out here, which is like probably like 2 or 3 times this short little distance to close the corner. By the time she's already reached there, I can close the next angle too. Now she's got to walk from all the way out here, all the way over here, and she's decently out of position at this point. We will do what we must. But in general, like the corners and use of corners is important for everybody, but especially Zarya too. So you can position safely, get your beam at a nice distance, and just exist meaningfully. Good for him. This is the point where they're probably gonna run Pharah. Oh, these guys must like contenders to a degree because they're weird variation on it. A lot of the meta comps that you're gonna see nowadays are gonna be Ball Sigma, Brig Zen, or either have Brig Zen or Mercy Zen, and then if you have the Mercy, you run the Ashe. Otherwise, you run the Tracer, and otherwise you run. I think it's just Ashe anyway. Ashe is regardless of Mercy or Brig. To go with this comp, looking at this comp, so let's look at ours first. Same close to mid-range brawl, because we have the Reaper, very brawly. We have speed, we have Moira, which means resource, which means we want to stay in fights for shorter periods of time, use cover more, and sustain longer than we're taking big damage. What I mean by that is instead of standing out in the open, getting bursted down by Zen and Genji and D.Va and all these guys, play your corners and take more damage over time. Damage over time is Moira's specialty in sort of healing and sustaining the team fight. Taking burst damage is not good. It's going to be a lot of the same for their team as well. The Brig Zen is going to be tough to bust because Brig should always be with Zen. And their sustained healing together will make them pretty tough to do things too. They're just going to look to whittle you down between their dive tanks and their dive. Yes, dive DPS are the weakest part of this comp in my opinion, unless you get the tanks out of position. So look at this D.Va. Get her out of here. Nice aggression, just walking. No need to bubble Gray there. Gray's in no real danger. Because we've pushed all of the danger off of point. And Gray's not going to stay there. Like, she's not going to go 1v1 the Tracer. At least she shouldn't. Yeah, overall, you could have saved bubble for someone main instead. Like, it's a nice thought, but if there were more risk associated with it, I would agree. Yep, all we want to do now is just not peek. We don't really have to look at them. Let's see, so brawl comp into this comp. Just want to let them in on us and then literally rush them, like int onto them. All you have to do is pick a person, we can probably blow them up. D.Va's our greatest problem in that case. So this is what they're sort of into, like standing here and taking the space where they can. Ooh, that guy wasn't into it too much. Splat, no. Just a little lapse in judgment there. Probably thought he had more HP or more effective HP than he actually did. Tough one too. We just weren't ready. No. Mucky. Overall, this comp is just Discord. Funny. Discord and Tracer goes on them, Discord Genji goes on them, you try to go for Mr. Discord himself, you're getting diva'd and brigged, and Monkey can also follow up on Discord as well and generally declare space. Very cute, but not the most optimal version of the comp by far. Stalling really well. We killed Zen. We have beat to re-engage. We have Grav. Let's see, we're going top left. Don't want to get our heads taken off, so watch your head. Watch yourself around the corners here. They have Grav, they have Trance, the love story. There's no need to get the Tracer here. If you just put your beam on her for a little bit, she'll go away. Could have been looking main and helping the front line with this fight. Like, you still haven't used, I don't think, either of your bubbles. I'm not sure. But they could have been spent on the main fight here instead of the Tracer. I understand wanting to fight her off and stuff like that, but all you really need to do is body block some damage, if anything. It's a nice touch, but you can see that we have greater like bigger fish to fry over here on the front line. Also, if you're unsure of how to get up here, you can actually jump on this gong and jump up. You can also look down and bomb jump it too. I have a feeling that's where our bubble was spent. There's another one, and at least it cost them a pulse bomb, which is kind of stupid, if I'm honest. I don't mean to be frank, but kind of poor from them. Let's see how we approach point here. So, we know they don't have Trance because they used it last fight. We know they don't have Rally because they used it last fight. In general, if you can get a Grav past them, that's fantastic. We just have to watch for sustain ults from there. Okay, that was actually a convenient beat. We can grab right here. I don't know what that guy thinks he's gonna do. So yeah, bombs get eaten by DM, but your beam doesn't. It's oftentimes when there's a diva, just better to focus on beaming down her mech in neutral, rather than getting other people and doing other things. For some reason that guy thought he could kill you, I don't know why. Be cute, sustain, blah blah blah.
I was hoping for a challenge.
Yeah, overall, things I'm seeing, mechanics are pretty good, pulls are pretty alright, just need to focus on keeping your attention towards the right spot. A lot of the times in a fight, I try to pick somebody out who I need to watch out for, and I will say that at the beginning of a fight, like the last time that I was saying about watching out for tanks, like tank ults because they don't have supports. I'm trying to single out one of the tanks preferably, but either one of them will do because they both have tank ults to potentially cause trouble. This is true if they have blade, this is true if they have pulse, you're getting close to anyway. It's a nice pick. Yeah, just fine-tuning where your attention goes is pretty key. Again, little. If you want to know how to get past that, you can bomb past her shield. She can't shield behind her, and if she does, she gets checkmated by her beam anyway, so no need to chase her. And they die here. But yeah, overall not bad. Fine-tuning your attention was probably just the biggest thing there. Picking out the biggest threat in a fight and where you think it's coming from. Do you think the biggest threat is going to come from a Tracer just beaming you down from the side? Or just like bzzing you down from the side and buzzing like a bee stupidly? Or do you think it's from like 5 people in front? It sounds obvious, but there are situations where you need to make those judgment calls quickly. And that one fight was one of them where we spent Shatter and Blossom. Overall, yeah, good job. Pretty good. I can show a VOD of Topaz and I have to see when he played off. I think This was one.
Arriving at Watchpoint Gibraltar. Ready for battle.
Or, I think Blizzard World was a good one too. Gibraltar was a sucky one.
Welcome to Blizzard.
Yeah, he was Sig on this one.
Ready for battle.
The old crab meat and
No
Zircon.
time for such frivolous pursuits.
Ready for battle.
Let's see, the
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
blah blah
Attackers
blah.
incoming.
And I wanted to sit up here because I like sitting up here to be aggressive. And he sits up here to be aggressive with me.
Observe the barrier.
Yeah, let's just watch, I guess, a little bit of his shield management, a little bit of just his general decision making. He sees me going out for flanks and stuff. He knows he doesn't have to shield me because I'm not gonna peek when I'm charging up my volleys and stuff. I call the Sombras on me. Automatically goes to drop down and try to peel for him. And is sort of forced walking down this hallway to come back. That's alright. That's alright.
Barrier won't hold together.
We were working this corner together, and I can surprise Zarya from the side, just to scare her off, and he can sort of finish out the job by using his presence to come back too. I think it's really cool that he takes further in this lane, so he can sort of help me rotate back, if I wanted to. I didn't though. I'm an idiot boy. Thankfully I found the Hanzo, and I have control of high ground. Now he's sort of just playing point, just playing to survive as best he can.
Heroes never die.
Activating the barrier.
Yeah, look, he tries to shield the Rising Mercy, and like, he's just really being a space taker. The rest of us don't have shields, and that kind of stinks sometimes, because that means that a lot of the time we can't enhance cover or use it in a way to not take damage. Thankfully he does that, not the same way I do through aggression. He does that with his shield, and he can just claim space like he did here, like literally walks across the point, shielding people off. If Zen's a problem? No problem, we drop a shield. Zarya's a problem? No problem. I'll wait till she's dead and drop a shield. Alegana's a problem? I'll just put a shield in front of my Zen who wants to kill her.
Hello.
Pretty funny. Next fight. Trying to get that Sombra, who is on me again, and Mercy. It was very, very respectable peel. I appreciate it. He's hello? If you notice, he was keeping his shield up quite a bit. Almost died here, so I had to drop. Let's see, it's saying we want to take right side or we want to peek right side, because they have high ground. He sees Diana up there, so he wants to force her down. I call that she's going to be stuck left side. Oh. He wasn't expecting that one. I called I wanted to stay up for this, because screw her. And then we have each other. When we need to bail each other out, we do, which is fun. I was thinking that I really wanted the Nano Zarya out of here, and that it was going to be a big pain in the butt. That if they wanted to win this fight, they were going to do it with the MP. So I might as well trance early on in case they have the MP or something like that. And I also get to just win the fight and save him at the same time, just like he helped me. Sombra. Oh, there is no Sombra anymore. This is when they switched. Fluxes for fun, I guess. Baits an ult and a couple cooldowns. I said I wanted to hide right side, so where do we go and where do we adjust to?
Heroes never die.
I don't think we made this sustainable. Yeah, no, I died getting a Hanzo. as I don't know if it'll be especially helpful though. There's already so much of them. Yeah, that's it. Retook. Yeah, I had a field day on this one, I remember that. I think this was funny. This is the value of flanks, I guess. And something I want to go over with like Zen players and stuff like that, or future Zen players, is like, there's no need to fear those. They're just ugly. I'd rather have them out of my way. Together we win the team fight, because it's funny. And now it's time to restore order. We have two halves of the same coin. Sort of my space control through aggression and peeking and sightline pressure that I'm applying through flanks. Yeah, Zen, sightline pressure. But when it comes from the flank, it becomes a different kind of sightline pressure. Like when Zarya almost gets her head blown off by walking around a corner that I'm watching with volley and stuff like that. Like it becomes a real trap. And then you have Topaz's sustained actual tanking and shield presence. Like I feel like my aggression is more like a suggestion a lot of the times, and Topaz's can be more of the bottom line. And this sort of switches in the phases of the fight that we enter. Yeah, he starts sensing that they're getting a little antsy and rotating to point, so he honors the rotation and goes with them. Again, I'm hanging out left so I can chill. I drop in their back and I ego trance because I want to die. And yeah, like, I like the fact that, about his gameplay, that even when he leaves his shield out, like in this over here, it's still providing some sort of value. It's going to cover the hog shots. It's going to, whatchamacallit, cover shots from main if Zarya overextends super deep. Like now Zarya can't shoot him because she just wasn't looking down this angle. Together we conquer.
Helden sterben nicht.
Meteor strike.
Yeah. So, just a little game showing, I guess, a little bit of how he plays. I want to see if there's one where he played as Zarya. Don't think so, though.
Traveling to Numbani. Ready for battle.
There's another one? Remember this at all.
Ready for battle.
Oh, I guess we can watch this too. Let's look at some things that I worked on with sword. Topaz is gonna play a weird role in this because, or at least Sigma is, because we have a Sig Hog, and who is like really the main tank of that comp, who is meant to fulfill that sort of role. Well, I mean, it could be either of them at times, depending on what they're doing and stuff like that. Like, double off tanks are weird for that. Like, whoever has the most aggro and stuff like that at the time can be considered a main tank. Like, whoever has the most people distracting or being distracted by them and stuff. Interesting stuff. I remember this being extremely difficult to play into. So we tried to get aggressive and push with it. Brian got res behind him and there was no going back. Also let the Junkrat flank into us, so...
Goodbye.
So... This is a weird game because we were just playing lanes like we were playing a MOBA or something. Slow motion, you can see us just kind of playing around and, oh, I'm taking damage, I'm scared, I'm gonna walk away. Whenever next we get into position. So So I said I want to go on a long flank. And I said, okay, I'm going for main. So yeah, the things that I was saying with you is like attention to greatest threats, and that's going to be interesting to see if anybody survives this flux. Who he decides is the greatest threat. Starts off as the Hanzo. Now it's going to be as the Zarya, just in case she grabs. He was looking to eat. She won't grab.
I am taking the objective. Join me.
Yeah, it's cool playing with a, communicating with a tank, because from my point of view, this is how things went. Like a 1v1 and stuff, and you can see that he's already there. And the flag was still there. I'm safe. Like, that's the line of safety between me and my enemy. And now he's in front of me, like all things should be. It feels good. Communicating with tanks is really, really key, and just teammates. We're communicating our flanks, where we want to be, what's going on, and stuff like that. We're chattering like birds in the rainforest. That's what keeps them alive too. Get another fight. So no shield now. You can see how he's sort of playing. Trying to watch out for Shatter here. Now, something interesting here is we're whole hogging the front line, so he can afford to look at the back line where we're getting flanked from. I knew we're getting flanked because I have the 3D transfer. He actually manually looked at the flank after hearing the sound cue of like junk mine or something. Primal is just getting rolled.
Thank you.
See how we take this next fight, so he's positioning a little bit more aggressively. I remember this one going some sort of... Their Hanzo first. Wow, Farah really got rolled there. She didn't get rocked, but she did get slept and headshot by Mir. Yeah, you can just buy a space. It's really cool.
Observe the barrier.
Let's see. Cool that he pressures this. Oh, unlucky. Mike. You can't go there. They nano him. Block, and now we're getting pushed out for good. Actually, we're still okay. Look at how he... This is like some good ebb and like ebb and flow sort of stuff. Where he is now, just doing his thing, sort of acting as a pseudo main tank for this comp with the shield and all that, and going against a ride. Gets coalescenced. That's constant damage through a shield. He backs up around this corner, where wasn't killing anybody here. I don't know why she did that, but she gets baited around the corner, gets rocked, and dies for it. Now we can push up with shield, just like we did before. Obviously, just looking out for Hoggle. He's playing from this side. More effective, their direction.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Ooh, wow, that was a read and a half. Wow, that hog just got frame perfect stopped, I think, on his ult. That sucks. But yeah, like, overall, so much of playing off tank is being aware and shutting down enemy players a lot more so than it is really getting picks. you can shut down enemy players by getting picks, and that's awesome if you do. I mean, that's like literally fantastic. That's what I try to emulate on my Zenyatta and stuff like that. Like, that's literally like my philosophy when it comes to Zen. Like, I know that Hanzo and Mercy were going on the flank here. Yeah, I see them going over there. I saw Mercy fly, so that means Hanzo's probably flanking. And I can literally just turn him into soybeans on the ground. Like, because I know that, because I want that, just because it's what I do. That's one way to suppress an enemy. I've suppressed him for 10 seconds. Potentially longer. Doesn't want to duel me again. But off-tank players do this via cooldowns and all sorts of different ways and stuff like that. Be very mindful of who you suppress, whether it be the enemy's tank line or a DPS or something like that. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So yeah, overall, nice job, nice performance in the match. Again, bubble targets is going to be a thing. Just micro-tuning your focus. Your mechanics are good. You can find value where you play a lot of the time. The problem is knowing where you should play. Like judging on the fight. Like positioning can be good or decent. Yeah, just sort of fine-tuning that aspect. But with that, I think that's a pretty complete overview. So, thanks for watching. All I have for